Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Dallas. Hi, Dan. Hi, Tanya. There he is. Hi, everyone.
Give me 1 second. There he
How
is.
are
Hi,
you?
Dae.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good now that I'm here with you.
I'm so excited to do this.
I'm like a
I
big
know
kid,
that
right?
I know that you're usually on the other side of the interview chair, so I want to thank you for agreeing to do this.
Are you crazy? I love to. I like people want to talk about me. Of course I want to do it. Let's do
I love everything about that. As a Virgo, I am never going to turn down an opportunity to talk about myself to other people.
it. I usually don't like it, but it's I'm learning to embrace it and have some, just be fun with it and just enjoy it. I understand that it's a necessary part of what we do. I didn't know before. I was like, just put me behind the camera and leave me alone. But since the pandemic, we've been talking.
I mean, you got to embrace it. You guys are kind of celebrities in the photography world.
Really?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Everyone knows Dallas and Dae.
Wow. I didn't expect that. I never, you know what it is? I'm always like, you see me in the room. I'll just be quiet most of the time. And I come in, I'll say something, and I go back and I like to laugh and stuff and be silly, but Lord, wow, wow.
No, you guys are, well, I don't know. Maybe celebrities is like a strong word because the
Thank you.
photography world is kind of small. But you guys are very well known. You're well
Oh,
respected. Prolific
wow,
is certainly an appropriate adjective.
wow. Wow. Well, I appreciate all the love, and I didn't expect that. You caught me off guard.
I mean, the compliments will be flowing, I'm sure.
Wow, wow.
I mean, I said this in the interview with Dallas. I am a fan of your work, but I'm also just a fan of you, especially in the last year, our interactions on Clubhouse and on social media. Um, I mean, I've become just a fan of who you are.
Oh, and I'm in the same. Like literally, I think it was a rough start because we wasn't used to being indoors so long. So whenever you talk, like I said, I told you before, you have so much. You're so smart and so like wise. So whenever you're speaking about something, it's not like some. It's never like how I feel. It's like, well, actually, I read this, and this is what this is, and this is a study here. So I'm always amazed. It's not. I love people like you because there's always something to back up the conversation, or it's a point of view that's backed by something. It's not just words and being like, some people just talk. Like you don't talk to hear yourself talk. You talk because you have something to say. And I think it's so I don't know, the way you are. Period is just so beautiful. It's like, oh, I love Asia. She the bomb. That's my girl. Like when you come on stage, I'm like, oh, she got something to say. So you know it's gonna be something. So
Well, now I'm caught off guard.
oh no, I listen, I tell you all the time. I think you're so smart and I think you're brilliant and I love your approach. I like your point of view. Your point of view is very much like it's just real and I like real people. I like real people. I like your honesty. I like even when even when you're making a point that I don't 100% agree with, it's like, oh, but it makes sense. It's not, again, you don't talk just to hear yourself speak.
Well, thank you so much. I'm always terrified when I'm on the internet that I'm kind of just talking into the void, but it's nice to know that other people appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I listen.
I saw your new puppy down in the comments.
Oh, Oh man, we got people in here. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, people are excited. They want to hear what you have to say. So I feel like we should get started.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
So, first question, maybe a little bit spicy because I know he's watching, but you work with your partner. Not only do you work with, I may have looked at your LinkedIn before this. Not only do you work with your partner, but you assisted him, and then you two, and then you two started a business together. So I have to ask, like, what is that like, especially during the pandemic? Does it feel like too much?
No. So when I met Dallas almost 10 years ago, how it was I met him on Facebook, which is crazy. A friend of mine, not old friend of mine, I was working for Vibe magazine at the time, and they asked me how much do I charge to retouch. And I was like, I have no idea, because it was the first time I had ever been asked to charge, and I was awful then. And so I asked my friend, like, hey, they asked me how much do I charge to retouch this. I think the editorial was with Brandy, I believe. And he was like, I don't know. Do you know Dallas? And I was like, no. He says he's in my friends list. Hit him up. Tell him I sent you. And he's really good with stuff like that. So I reached out to Dallas, and I was like, hey, how are you? I'm Dae. I'm a friend of that guy. And I want to know how I'm working for Vibe. And I want to know how much should I charge, because I've never done this before, so on and so forth. And then Dallas go, well, what do you want? And I'm like, well, if I knew, I wouldn't be here asking you. So then he goes, well, he did the Dallas thing, and I did the date thing. And then after that, we became real cool and met up with him. And we met at Barnes and Nobles. And even then, he was spicy Dallas. And I was like, I know we're going to be cool. He's like, what? I was like, because you screaming at me in Barnes and Nobles, and I don't want to punch you in the face. And he was like, okay. And so when I first started assisting him, it was like teamwork, because he would say, okay, we're going to shoot this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, cool. So he'll be like, you handle the lights, I'll handle the camera, or you handle the camera, I handle the lights. And it always was this big, it was always like this big, partnership already. Before it even was a Dallas and Dae. When I was his assistant, it was Dallas and Dae, or Dae and Dallas. So it just was this relationship that it just made sense. And if I had a job, he would assist me. If he had a job, I would assist him. So it wasn't anything different. I think it got closer during when we moved to LA, because we were all that we got, because we didn't know anybody out here. We knew a couple of people, but it wasn't many. So when he has to do a job, I'm making sure that the job go through, and he does the same thing for me. So it's not really hard. It's like, it's us. What you see in Clubhouse, what you see on our lives and stuff, that's who we are. If you was to sit or across from us, we just like laughing and educating and making sure we hold each other accountable and keep the people around us accountable and keep everybody growing. So that's very important. So you couldn't come around and just want to be a bum. It's like, no, you got to do something. Come on. You got to, it's always trying to help people be better and get what you want out of life. Not better for me, but better for you. If it's something that you want, we always want to help you. So I thought that was so cool, because I had that naturally. As he would say back in the day, I was the Olivia Pope of my friends, and I met him, and he was Olivia Pope. So it's like two Olivia Popes solving problems, getting people what they want, making some things happen. So that's how it is. But yeah,
I mean that sounds wonderful. It sounds very strange to me, because if I had to work with my partner, I think we would kill each other. But it all sounds great when you tell the story.
You gotta look at it like this. We are two different people. I'm super creative, so I want to do something that's crazy all over the place, because that's where my mind go immediately. Dallas is technical in the way of, you can do that, but you have to do this and this and that, and you make it go like this. And so I don't step on his side, he don't step on mine. And he's very I like to laugh and joke around, but when it comes to work, I turn into this I want to play. I want to make sure everything goes right. He, on the other hand, is different. He's a little bit more looser when it comes to work. And he's like, calm down, it's all right, it's gonna be fine. So we do this weird bounce of being serious, and when it's time for him to step in, I know he's stepping in because he need to do something, and I just stand back. And when he knows when I'm talking or have something to say, he's like, okay, it's important. So it's not necessarily a I don't overstep my boundaries, but he know if I'm saying something, it's important, and vice versa. So it works. It's weird, but it works.
Awesome. I forgot to start because I feel like I know you so well after a year.
Yes.
But I forgot to ask, who is Dae?
Oh, who is that? Who is Dae? Who am I? Oh man, I'm so many people. I am a photographer. I am a photographer. I'm a music producer. I'm a kid from the projects, a guy who dreams really, really big, who loves helping people, who love helping people achieve their dreams, who love people seeing Black people like doing amazing things and just being great, like having all these different types of friends around me. And I love to laugh. I laugh more than anything. Like, I'm always looking on TikTok for funny stuff. Like, I'm one of those people who I was a kid who played too much, always laughing. I'm tough, and then I'm not, and then I'm like a big baby because somebody will say the nice thing to me, and I start crying. Like, something's wrong with me. It's weird. So I think I'm just a dude who have a mission, who really believes in himself and everybody else. Even if I don't even have to know you, it's like, I believe in you. And I think that's who I am for the most part. I think I love hard. I play harder. I don't take anything serious. A lady said, definitely play too much. I play too much. I like to play. I like to have fun. And I figure, look, life is really short. So we can spend this life being upset about some stupid stuff, or we can spend this life laughing and enjoying each other and setting it up for the next generation of people to enjoy themselves. So it's just temporary spots, and I don't know. I'm weird like that, but that's basically who I am. Dude from Jersey, Jersey, and then back and forth to
I was
New
wondering
York.
when you were going to work that in there.
You got to Jersey, going back and forth to New York. I've been going to New York since forever. It's always been a second home. Then I moved there when we was moving in Brooklyn, and then now I'm in LA, which is it's different. It's different. Yeah.
As someone who plays too much, and I am as well, I know that you play video games, so I have to ask, what are you playing right now, and on what console?
I am playing. Okay, so I'm one of those trash people who play the game all the way into 100%. So I'm currently playing Spider-Man, Injustice, and the Avengers. And I don't like to play with people because I don't like people talking in my ear and being competitive for no reason. I like people to be fun. Like, I was playing Char, and he was all like, yeah, I get you talking all this crap. I'm like, bro, I don't like playing with you. That's not fun.
Your dog says that you are playing Barbie Dollhouse.
Yeah, I do that too. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, no, that's it. That's it on the PS4, 5, 4. I think 4. I didn't get the new one, 4. Yeah, I don't buy a lot of game systems because I don't play often. Like, literally, I'll play like 20 minutes to an hour, and I'm like, I have enough of this. Got to go back to work. So yeah.
I respect that. Still working my way through Breath of the Wild on this.
Nice.
Everyone I know has finished it, and they're like, "You're not done yet." I'm enjoying the scenery. Okay, relax.
You deserve to enjoy the scenery. You bought this game. Like, come on.
$60 for a game. I'm gonna take my time and enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I feel the same way. I've been playing Spider-Man for the last 2 years. And I beat it so many times, but it's on 98%. And I'm like, I need that extra 2. I don't know what I'm missing, but I need to fix it and finish it, and I need it.
Absolutely. So you talked a little bit about your many hats that you wear, but I have to know, how did your career path unfold? I know that you have said that you started as a dancer, and then
Yes.
you moved into music, and now
Yeah.
you do photography and retouching and videography. Like,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
All right. So growing up, I always was into dance and music. It always was in my house. My mom introduced me to everything she listened to. I wanted to be into. I loved Michael Jackson, like with a passion. Loved him. And coming up, I was like in elementary school, and my mom asked me, "What high school you want to go to?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I met somebody, and she was like, "Oh, it's a special school called Arts High, where all of the gifted and talented kids go to." And I was in gifted and talented. So funny enough, when you were talking about the thing about ADHD the other day, and you were speaking about being bored in class and you being smart. Okay, so I had the same thing, and what they did was they took us out of class and put us in a special class, and they would teach us instead of teaching us fifth grade anything, it would be like sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade stuff. So that's how I learned. So I auditioned to go on Arts High for dance and for art because I can draw too. I always had you always through my entire life I always had art and I always had some sort of music. It was always that weird thing. So I got in for both dance and okay, not right now, Loretta. I got in for dance and I got in for music. No, dance and art, and I had to choose. And they were doing ballet, and I'm like, I don't want to be dancing around in no tutu. I don't. It's not, And so, biggest mistake and best mistake. So I went and I was an art major. During being an art major, I also was doing photography was one of the lessons, and we learned art history, drawing, painting, sculpting, and I fell in love with it. It was like, you're a teenager, you got all these emotions, and you get to pour it into your works, and everybody around you is special. You in the school, I felt like the X-Men. Everybody around me is super talented. People on television. Michael B. Jordan was one of our classmates and things like that. So it was a ton of actors and people on Broadway, and it was for me it was amazing. And he gave us a camera. This little, I don't remember what the camera was. It was a film camera, and I fell in love. I lost my mind. And so during that time, I'm dancing and drawing, and I'm going to auditions, and I had the opportunity to go on tour with Justin Timberlake. My mother was like, "You got to graduate." And I was like, "This is stupid because I'm 14 and 15 auditioning to go on tour. But you said I can't go on tour, so I'm wasting my time." So at that time, I'm producing music now. Here comes music, and I'm being popular in Jersey. I was doing this thing called Jersey club music, and I was popular then, and I started DJing at the same time. I'm still dancing, I'm DJing, I'm drawing, and it's like slowly but surely things started to change, and it was like, okay, cool. I started doing music production, and I was a music producer then, and I stopped drawing, of course, and I started doing graphic design. And from there, dancing stopped. At this age, I'm like, I don't feel like, I feel like doing this anymore. I'm not going to keep running behind these artists. It's stupid. Now I'm going to run behind these artists with doing music. It's just, just a little different. And it took off. And one day we wanted photos for the team, and I don't know why, I went to the newspaper and I saw a photographer there, and I contacted them. How much would it cost? Hey, I'm a little broke teenager. How much would it cost to get headshots for? It's like 5 of us, and he was like 1,400, and I was like, I'm broke. I can't afford that. And so I was like, no, I got a camera. I could do this. And I took photography. I know what I'm doing. So I had this little point and shoot. Yeah. And I shot everybody. And then because I was an artist, I could do graphics. And I started doing graphics. And I was doing all these, trying to make everything look like a movie poster, or trying to make everything look like album covers. And then next thing you know, I'm working with rappers because I'm producing, and I'm making these album covers. And what is she calling right now, Loretta? So at that point in time, it was doing album covers and doing the graphics, and sorry, doing it was just doing a lot. And then I started doing the retouching, and then I met Dallas. So it was doing music production, retouching, met Dallas. uh, doing music and photography at the same time, and I never called myself a photographer. I was like, don't call me that. You know, I didn't earn that. I'm a music producer. Don't call me a photographer. Don't, you know. Next thing you know, I got a call. My partner did. I had a partner in music, and he did some funky shit. And I was like, I don't want to do this shit no more. Fuck, you know, forget music. This is not fun. And I dedicated my life to it. Was Grammy nominated. Got a couple of platinum plaques. Did a bunch of great things. Worked with a bunch of artists, and everybody I wanted to know in music during the time that I couldn't get to, I now know and am close friends with because of photography. It is so weird. So it's like when I could use the connect back then, and I was begging to work with you, they didn't want to talk to me. Now I do photography. We all besties now. So it's very weird. So that's you got the origin story summed up.
That's so funny. I also went to a magnet school.
Really?
I did. I went for voice, and I left my sophomore year of high school because I didn't love it anymore. I fell in love with art.
Mm.
And I graduated from high school, went to college. I did theater for a little bit, fell out of love with that. And then I came back to graphic design a few years ago, and I thought I would do a career as an artist. And it just did not work, and I could not understand why. And then I picked up a camera again, and I was like, this is why.
There it is. That's why. That's exactly why. It takes over. It's this thing. It takes over, and you can't freaking control it. It's just like this love, and if you really, really get a chance to fall in love with it, it's like I never want to let it go. I love photography. It is ridiculous. Like I study more than I shoot, and then I shoot something, and it's just like, oh, I miss you every single time. Oh, I miss you. This is great. That's why I love assisting, because if I get a chance to assist, then I'm on set. It like cures this thing. Like, oh, I'm good. I'm fine. So I love assisting.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. I'm done.
I saw a question in the chat that people want to know: can you still dance?
Yes, I still do a 5, 6, 7, 8. I can. I can still dance. I can get you with a nice step, but I don't do it professionally, and I have not taken a class in years, so I'm not choreographing anything. But definitely, it's still there.
It's like riding a bike. I also danced before
Really?
high school.
First of all, you got a voice. I want to hear the voice though.
God, no.
Not on here. It could be off of this. I still want to hear it. That means you got it. And if you were taking voice and you went to a magnet school, that means that you can sing opera.
No.
No?
No.
I want to hear you got something. You have something.
Maybe in Clubhouse.
All right, let's do it.
Bless the people.
Whenever you're ready, I want to hear it. I want to hear what you got.
Okay. Well, so I do have another question, because you mentioned how much you love to assist, and that is something that you have said before, and I've also heard you say that you feel like everyone should assist. Can you talk about like the value of mentorship and working on a set before you call yourself a photographer?
Yes. So I actually picked up the camera for real. I want to say it was maybe 2001. 2001 is when I officially picked up the camera, and that's when my teacher gave me the camera, and I was just shooting, and you think you know what you're doing. You think you artsy because you on the floor and you're doing all this weird stuff. It was great. And then I always begged for someone to show me the ropes, because I saw how important it was. Like in music, I saw how important it was, where Michael Jackson had Quincy Jones, and Pharrell had Teddy Riley, and Dr. Dre had Quincy Jones. So all these mentorships made these amazing people. So in my mind, it's like, duh, if you have a mentor, you can be amazing too. They'll show you the ropes, and you'll become who you're going to become. And it wasn't up until I was 27 when I met Dallas, and I assisted him, and I got a chance to see how it was to be in the studio, the etiquette, being around clients, how to be a fly on the wall. You get a chance to be on a flyer. Can you imagine being a fly on the wall to one of your favorite photographers, and you just helping them achieve their dream and do stuff? When you get the opportunity, you get to see how lights work, how to work with talent, how to speak to your clients. A lot of photographers are extremely egotistical, and they'll say the most crazy thing to a client because they don't know, not out of anything but ignorance, and they have no idea. And a lot of them say, "Oh, I want to work for this, I want to work for that, I want to work for Vogue, I want to shoot for Times Magazine, I want to work for Harper's." And it's like, if you had that opportunity tomorrow, they gave it to you, what would you do with it? How do you operate? Do you know what it is to work with a team? Do you know what it is to work with a production company? Do you know that when you're going to do these jobs, a lot of times you're not going to be the person putting up the lights. You have a team for that. And a lot of photographers don't know that that's what it takes. So I always urge, please study under somebody who is better than you, who is doing bigger jobs than you, because when it's your turn, because you're going to get the opportunity, when it's your turn, you know exactly what to expect. There's like a protocol that goes on how the industry works. And the only people who knows are the people who are working. So the people who are on the outside, you never would know that it's a production thing. You never know that Mario Testino don't put up his own lights. We wouldn't know that because we don't see that. So what would give you eyes as an insider is to assist or intern, or it is so important because that little step is huge in the business. It'll give you a career. We interviewed a young lady today named B, and she was an intern, and she got a chance to be on set for like People Magazine and things like that. And when you do that and you're around those people, they hired her. So that's another thing that it does. It's a network. So I urge all photographers, young and old, to assist. If you have an opportunity, assist. Intern somewhere if you have to. But be around photography and be around photographers. We all shoot different, but we all have something to give to this beautiful world.
So this is always like a super contentious topic whenever it comes up, especially on Clubhouse, because it feels like there are two very distinct sides. You have the younger photographers and you have the older photographers. The younger ones, they feel like the older ones don't want to give away the knowledge. The older ones feel like the younger ones don't want to do any work. And for all that you and Dallas are not like officially my mentors, I mean, I rely on you guys very heavily. I value your input so much. But not everyone has Clubhouse. Not everyone has the access that Light is Light provides. So how do you go about finding a mentor? How do you go about finding someone to assist?
Literally, if people are on, like let's just use Instagram. If you're on Instagram and there's a photographer who you admire and you like, and they're doing something that you like, start reaching out to them. Make a friendship, a genuine friendship, because nothing is better with your mentors or anybody who you're going to work with. They are going to be like your closest friends. They're going to be like your closest friends. And if you have a relationship, social media, and then you know they know that you like their work and they know you're trying to do something. What happened is, if you was to make that relationship and you say, you mind if one day, if ever I'm in your city, if I can assist you, all you can do is ask. And the worst that they can say is no. That's the worst thing and that was a big lesson for me. The worst thing that anybody can say to you is no. And I learned that no is usually not right now, or they're not in the space to do it right now. But there'll always be a time when they say, you know what? I'm over here. Look, if you can make it, do this, that, and the third, then you can come on set. And then at that moment, again, being ready, you just go. There are tons of photographers who wouldn't mind having an assistant around, but photographers don't want for the assistant to come in and say, give me the answers and then leave. Like I said, if you form a friendship, that relationship is beyond the information. And that's what's more priceless. So make a real relationship, talk to the people. Don't look at the person like a bank. sometimes doing something for them, like, hey, I know you were looking for a retoucher, and I'm good at retouching. If you'll let me assist you, I can show you something to retouch, or I can help you with your marketing. Offer something, and it don't necessarily have to be a financial thing. It could just be, it could be anything. Hey, I would love. Look, I'll carry lights. I'll do whatever you need me to do to get on. Do what you have to do to get there. Because once you get there and you have that relationship, it is so valuable. It is so valuable. Like people in Clubhouse, literally, one of the people who I look up to, his name is Jeff. Jeff and Patrick Ecclesian. I hope I said his name right. Told him like, look, if you ever shoot and I'll assist you, let me know. Like, put it out there. I'm going to get on your nerves. Misan Harriman, or even Moo. I'm like, look, if you ever assisting, you need assistant, I'm there. And they're like, oh, Dae, you too. No, I'm not. I'm not that guy. I don't have that thing. I don't have the little ego thing where I'm too good to assist. I don't have that. I want to see what it's like to be on set with people, and I love it. I still assist Loretta. Yeah. That's the
I wouldn't
homie.
recommend this, but what worked for me was picking a fight with photographers that I really liked and respected on Clubhouse, and then afterwards they called me to clear the air. Now I wouldn't say do that, but in my case, it actually worked out really well.
It works. I think just have a relation. If you can have a speaking relationship with someone, everything changes, because it's not, this online stuff is trash. But when you have the relationship to like talk to them, or they get to see how you are as a person, they're like, oh, okay, this is really cool. Like you get more, and you want to give more. We're around each other 3 times a week for a year. And it's like, oh, if you got something going on, I'm definitely gonna want to help you. If you having a problem with something, if I don't know the answer, I can find somebody who can. I'm treating it more and more like the community that I always wanted. Because when I was coming up, there wasn't people who wanted to share information. So it's like, now that I'm in a place where I have information to give, ask me, what do you want? I can help you. If I can help you, I can help you. If I can't, I can point you in a direction to get you what you're looking for. So, yeah, that's it. I hope I answered that right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll promote ASMP a little bit. I only joined in April of last year, but one of the biggest things for me was affinity groups. Before I joined ASMP, I thought I wanted to be a photojournalist because I was writing, and so I joined NPPA, and I joined Black Women Photographers, and those led me to ASMP, which has been, I mean, the change in my career has been astronomical since then. I have worked with colleges. I have another one on deck. I worked with Pittsburghers for Public Transit, but those connections came about through working with other photographers and building a community.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not have necessarily been a mentee-mentor relationship, but just having people that can answer questions.
What's incredible is all those talents that you have will all come to some sort of use in some weird way, but it's going to be brilliant. And I think all those groups that you named are amazing. Like the communities that you're a part of. Like this is the best time to be alive. I feel that way. Like it's so much opportunity, and it's so much promise now. I don't feel like I understand how I used to feel with it. Was sometimes I felt a little helpless, like, oh man, I'm just shooting in the dark and I have no way of understanding what's going to happen. And like now I feel like the endless possibilities. You can do whatever we want, and just be prepared for your time. And there's a community for everyone, and there's a group for everyone, and everyone belong. Like it's no way you can say you feel like an outsider. It's like where outside where? There's a group for the outsiders. You can go.
Oh no, I definitely agree. I mean, especially during the pandemic, I think we all felt like we hit a wall or hit a plateau, not just in our careers, but personally speaking. It's really hard to form a relationship when you're staring at the same 4 walls all the time, especially as a Black person in an industry that already doesn't want to give you anything and doesn't want to acknowledge your existence. So even the a room on Clubhouse, groups like Black women photographers, all these affinity groups, especially the ones that cater to minorities in the industry, they are priceless.
Yes. And what the Black female photography group, Black woman photography group have been doing for you guys has been amazing. Like literally seeing how so many people have been like on this rise and getting all this acknowledgments and the scholarships and the write-ups, and it's just for me, I don't even know what the group is. I know what the group is about, but I'm not in it. You understand what I mean? I'm not in it, but I look at it and I'm just like, that's awesome. It's been so many female women. Let me say women, not female. So many. Oh my God, how to say this correctly? I don't want to Adele it. There's been so many not male photographers who are being put on, and it's been like this awesome thing to see women get their what they just deserve. And it's so awesome because the perspective is amazing. The directors, the photographers, the writers, it's just so it's like a fresh perspective is great. Yeah.
And I think for a long time, the thought process was always, well, why do we have to single people out? The success of Black women photographers is success for all of us. There are so many photographers that I was never exposed to before Polly started the group. And I've been watching ABDM go from cover to cover to cover. It blows my mind because, first of all, they're amazing. The work is good. It's iconic. But I was introduced to them in a Zoom that Black women photographers put together.
Nice.
And I mean, if it was, I'm not saying that Black women photographers is responsible for their success, obviously, but the more eyes that are on some of us, the more eyes are on all of us.
All of us, absolutely. I agree. I think I got introduced to them from my assistant Patrick, and he was like, "What did you think of this work?" I'm like, "Oh, it's beautiful." And so he was like, "Oh, these young photographers, whatever they're doing, this and the third." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then we interviewed them, which made me fall in love with them more because they were like me and Dallas, like literally. And I write them often, and I tell them how proud I am of them, and I want them to keep going because they are literally lighting the way for all of us. I find their work so refreshing, and I love what they do. I don't know. It's a ton of artists right now that I just feel like, damn, this is just. It's such a good time to be alive. Like, I do not want to die anytime soon. Like, I want to. You understand? I say that often. I don't want to die. I want to see what's going to happen. What's next? Because it feels like it's such it's a great time. I feel like something amazing is about to happen, and I don't know what, but I just feel in my bones. I know something great's going to happen. I know it is. I don't know. I'm just excited for photographers, Black, white, photography, period. It just seems like this thing, something is happening. Women, men, women, non-binary, whatever. I'm just happy at what's happening. Something is changing, and I'm excited. Yes.
No, I definitely agree. It feels like people are finally understanding the work. And I know this is another super contentious topic, but it feels like the more people dabble in content, the more people realize how much work goes into being a creative professional. Not simply pointing your camera and pushing a button, right? There's work involved, and it doesn't stop.
And that's where you and I always agree when we talk about content creators, because I had to draw the line because sometimes it's when you go on a job. So I'll tell you the difference. When you go on a job and you like, okay, we need like 45 videos and maybe like 50 shots and the budget's like $1,000, and you're like, man, what? Oh, it's content, and they'll do that. Like, I'm not doing that. And then to work for a content creator for a couple of years, and I seen how she worked. Like we would work and set up like posts for the whole month. So we'll be shooting for a few days and setting up for the month and things are happening. She's like, okay, I need to do this. And it's a constant thing. It's not like people treat it like, they act like they minimize what they do. And content creators are a special bunch. I just drew the line because we do things that are a little bit different, but I respect what they do. That's what I keep saying. I respect what they do. I don't do what they do, and it's hard to do what they do. That's like work. That feels like work. What I do is like, it's work. Don't get me wrong. It's not easy. But it's more like, I get a chance to, like, imagine you eating. You can take little bites with mine. With theirs, that's a lot. Like, I'm not working for that. That's crazy. I can't do that. I'm not built like that.
Oh, no, I completely agree. I have the utmost respect for content creators, but people that work in the creative field and do content creation. Are y'all okay?
Woo, that's a lot. Yeah, no.
I know that and I'm gonna say it right this time, Yao.
Yeah, yes.
That he was a model. He's a photographer now, and then he started doing content creation, continuing to work as a very in-demand photographer, and I'm simply taken aback at how much he puts out.
He puts out what's awesome about Yao is he was an assistant to Lindsay Adler, who does both. So he knows, like, it would be a little bit easier because you've seen the formula. So you just like, okay, cool, boom, got it. So I'm looking at him like, what you're doing is amazing. I don't have that. I don't have that. But this is crazy.
So while we're talking about all of these wonderful Black photographers, I have to ask, because this is part of our Black History Month series.
Yes.
I have to ask, like, how important is Black representation in your art? And because you do so much, like, what does that look like across disciplines?
Whew. So early on, it's very. Let's start with, first of all, it's very important to have Black representation. There's two different types. There's two types of Black representation. Either you have the Black person in front of your camera or the Black person behind the camera. I used to feel terrible because I shoot a lot of white people. I felt awful because you got to understand, it's Black History Month, and not even just a month. Like, when everything changed, like when George Floyd passed away, it felt like everybody's was like, oh, I'm putting all the Blackness of the Black work, and I'm looking through my work like, I don't have much. It felt wrong. Like, am I turning my back on my people? Like, what am I doing wrong? Whatever. And so it's not that I didn't have a lot of Black people. I had a lot of Black men, but not a lot of Black women. And I kept saying, am I, like, looking at women wrong? Like, what am I? Why am I? And I went through this whole phase, and I felt embarrassed. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I think one day I was real messed up. And me and Dallas had a conversation, and he was like, you have to understand, you are the representation. You being great shows other Black people that what greatness look like. It doesn't have to be you shooting all the Black people. He says you shoot the hell out of white people, shoot the hell out of Asians, shoot the hell out of Black people. You shoot everyone well. You have a amazing perspective. So it's not about always I have to shoot all the Black people in order to be Black and be Black. He was like, you walking in those, as Roxanne would say, those lily white spaces, and showing them that you are capable and you're a great photographer is you represent for Black people. And I think it's so important that you have that perspective, because my perspective is different. I like what I like, and I love, don't get me wrong, I love Black people and I love my Black women. But if two of a model come and they see me in Dallas, they're not gonna come to me. They're gonna be like, you know. So I usually get like Alicia Keys, light skin, freckles. I'm like, yeah, I don't want this. I want what he got. What he got. I find it. But I think representation is so important. I used to look at the Tommy Hilfiger ads and the spreads, and the Ralph Lauren ads and spreads, and the Gucci, and they will always have two Black people. If there was a Black man, they would have a Black woman, and that'd be it. And so you keep looking, and I didn't realize how important it was. I just was looking at the pattern. Because I look at patterns often. I'm like, oh, it's always this. Always, why is it this? And then kind of find out that's what it was. That was the quota. They was filming the quota. So then unfortunately, after the sacrifice, it feels like George Floyd was a sacrifice. Things changed after. And so then you start seeing more Black people, more Black men and women. And now instead of it being 2, there's 6. And it's like, ooh, this is different. It's getting a little, And then you just get to see us. And I think seeing us makes the younger people understand that we can make it. We are beautiful. Seeing the different sizes, seeing the different shapes, and it just took some time for us to realize, like, not us, excuse me, we always knew it, for them to realize how amazing we were and how beautiful we were. And I think we're at a point in time where I think it's a eye-opening experience for us because we needed to see it. They didn't need to see it. We needed to see it because I hate it, and I hate saying this. I said this before. A Black girl would go in the Victoria's Secret store and see a beautiful white woman and say, "Oh, I want to look like that with the long hair and the boobs." And a white woman wouldn't go to the Victoria's Secret store and look at a white woman would look at a Black girl and say, "I want to look like that," and that fucking bothered me. And so it was like, I want for anybody to go and say, "She looks hot. I want to look hot like that. I want to look like," or it doesn't have to be that way. And it used to mess with me. So now it doesn't as much because I think we embrace us a lot more, and a lot of whites and Latino and Asians look at us now like, wow, like, we're getting the slowly but surely they're coming around to like, okay, you guys are beautiful. It's like, come on, you want our skin and our lips and now everything else, you want our hips and ass. Now, okay, we popping, we dope, So this is important. Once you start understanding that it's not just one of 100,000 people that are beautiful. It's like, no, Black people are beautiful, period. And it's time that they recognize it, and it's time that we recognize it because sometimes we don't even see it.
I think one of the things that made me fall in love with photography all over again was the realization that Black people can be art too.
Yes. I had a little different because growing up, my grandmother always had paintings of like Black women, Black women and Black men. So it was always art. It was always elephants and paintings of Black people. So I always had that. And in our house, it was like we couldn't play those games like, oh, you dark skinned and you ugly. Like we couldn't do that. All of my dark skinned cousins and stuff, they had like mighty names like, oh, you're Mona Lisa, or you're Man Cub, or you're they gave them all these amazing names. You know what my nickname was? DJ, Dirtbag. My mom called me Dirtbag or Nose or something, but everybody else, I'm like, how come, my cousin Kelly, oh, Mona Lisa. So when I came outside, and my old best friend Mike, he was dark skinned. So when they made dark skinned jokes, I used to be so fucking pissed. I tried to beat his friends up so many times. And he used to be mad at me like, no, they just playing. I'm like, they can't play like that around me. I can make jokes about you, but we don't play dark skin jokes. It'd be like, it just, I didn't like it. I don't like stuff like that. I grew up a little bit different. So I always had Black art. If you go to my grandmother's house, she got these tall, dark statues and steel statues of tall. My grandmother loved Africa and she loved like elephants and things. So it's always been a part of who I was. So I don't know. It's interesting. But we are art. Yes, we are. We deserve it.
So it's wild, but the last hour has just flown by.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So I only have 2 more questions. The first, did I miss anything? Is there anything that you absolutely have to get out there?
No. I just want people to first, like you said, I want people to assist, get a mentor, find somebody you respect, make a relationship, treat people how you want to be treated. You wouldn't want the person to walk up to you and just ask you for something. Hey, come change my life. It doesn't work that way. By getting a mentor, your life is going to be changed. Respect everybody. Everybody needs to treat everybody like we're family because they are family to somebody. And it doesn't take for something for you to know somebody, for you to care. So it's like, ease up. Everybody's going through something. And reach for the stars. Like, you can get everything that you want. You just have to keep working for it. That's it. You can get everything that you want. I'm a project kid. I grew up in North New Jersey, Prince Street projects, and I dreamed here. I had a dream. It was in Brooklyn. You're gonna think I'm a weirdo, but I had a dream that I was laying on my bed and Dallas was at his computer, and then this dog walked by, and it was like all the sun in my face. And I woke up and I told him, I had a dream. I told Dallas this thing, and so when we moved to LA, I was laying on the bed. He was on the computer. The sun was shining. It was in my face. The dog walked by, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is my dream." And I told him. He was like, "Wow, you can get everything that you want. It's all there. It's like you can have this." Just literally take a moment for yourself and think about what you want. A lot of us don't think. You don't know what you want, so there's no target. So there's no target. So what are you aiming for? What's the goal? If there's no goal and you just working, what are you aiming for? So I tell people, take a moment, and you're not going to die. Sit down, think about what you want. Think about what you want in the future, and literally start working on things that you want. Aim for it and go for it. You'll get it. It takes time, but you'll get it. And what's the last question?
Last question. Where can people find you? How can they support Dae?
You can support me. You can on my IG at Dae Howerton. That's DAE How HOW ER TON. My website is daehowerton.com. Everything is mostly Dae Howerton. I don't have any aliases anymore. Everything is pretty much my name. You can find me anywhere. Yeah, shoot me a text. You got any questions? Anything? Like, I'm pretty much open. If I don't answer, like I didn't answer Loretta because I'm either busy or I'm asleep. But for the most part, I like to help. I like to help people because I feel like it's important. I wish I had it. And, when I was coming up, I wish I had it. I didn't have it until I met Dallas. And the deal we made was, I kept saying, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be popping. When I'm popping, I'm going to give it back to you. And he was like, don't give me nothing. Pay it forward to somebody else because there's going to be a lot of little yous out there. And make sure you pay it forward. So I've been so addicted to helping people. So if there's anything somebody want and I can help you, just don't ask me for no money because I'm not rich. I'll help you.
So I'll plug a couple of things. Every weekday, you and Dallas do a daily podcast on Facebook and Instagram Live called The Daily Dose of Dallas and Dae.
Yeah.
That's at 2 p.m. Eastern, which I believe is 11 a.m.
Yep.
Okay, and then every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if you're on Clubhouse, at 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, you guys do the Light is Light room.
Clubhouse room, yep. Come and join us. Come talk to us. And the room is crazy. It'll get crazy, but don't leave. Trust me, it gets better. It's a bunch of people with strong personalities, but everybody, it's all based in love, and we hold each other accountable. And I don't know. I just want people to feel safe. It's a safe space for people to learn, and we ain't always right, but we mean well. And just come and be a part of the community. Come join our little club of really brilliant and beautiful people who I think are the best people on planet Earth. Like, oh please, I love everybody, even though they get on my nerves. I love them. And I don't know. I think our space and our little community is amazing. All our 37,000 people, come make it bigger. Come make our club bigger. Come and join. Come in and have fun with us.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining in today. My next interview from the ASMP page will be on Monday, February 21st with Charin Ingram.
My mentee.
That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, a little bit later because we have to accommodate his schedule. But I hope to see you all there. And again, thank you so much
my God. Thank you for having me. I was happy when you asked me. I'm like, oh my God, yes, of course. Yes, let's do it. Of course.
Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. And I'll see you guys on Monday.
Bye. Adri, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.